Let's go, Eden Army. Thanks for tuning in tonight. My name is Pete Robertucci, and this is the Eden Army podcast. We've got a bunch of people in the house over there on Kick, but just a reminder, guys, don't forget to follow us on these other communist platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, OnlyFans, whatever the hell they all are. I don't know, but follow us, subscribe, do whatever the algorithm gods like you to do, I guess. Now we got Terry in the house over on Kick. We got Guy, Battle Buddy Guy. Eden Army #1 is in the house. Anybody else is in Kick, go ahead and chime in so I can give you a quick shout out. So tonight, before we get started with the news, like I'd said before, we do have a guest tonight, and it's actually a good friend of mine. Mama Teresa's in the house. Paul Nelson is a veteran of the United States Navy, an active first responder, and the owner-operator of a new business called Bloodline Ballistics. So without any further ado, let's welcome Mr. Paul Nelson from Bloodline Ballistics. What's going on, brother?
How's it going, Pete?
It is going amazing. Thanks for being here tonight. I know Thursday night's kind of a weird night to have a podcast, but it's better than Friday night because no one tunes in on Friday night, right?
Yeah, they're all partying. So, I appreciate the opportunity to have me.
Yeah, absolutely. It's and you have an open invitation. Paul's going to end up. We're getting him geared toward starting his own little podcast, so we're going to try to train him up and get him. But with that being said, anytime you want to come on the Eden Army podcast, you are more than welcome, brother.
Sounds great. I appreciate it.
Yep. So listen, we've known each other for a long time. You know, we went through paramedic school together. You're a successful fishing charter captain on the East Coast of Florida. You're still working full-time at the fire department, and now you've started another venture. Tell us about Bloodline Ballistics.
So it's basically my brainchild. Well, push comes to shove, I'm just gonna be honest. My wife was getting mad about all the firearms I was buying, so I decided I had to start a business and get my FFL. So no, but it's something I've always wanted to do. I've obviously got a passion for working with and dealing with firearms. I've hunted my whole life, so anything and everything that has to do with guns and ammunition has been a big part of my life since I was very young. So it's definitely a big way that I feed my family too. So all that put together, I just decided it was time to do something else after the charter boat kind of slowed down and the government kind of regulated us out of commission on that side. I just took a leap and decided to dive into that.
Very cool. So that answers my next question is what made you actually start Bloodline Ballistics? But there, you pretty much summed that up for us. Russ, why don't you jump on in here with us? Don't be shy. Russ is in the background. He doesn't get enough notoriety. So let's bring him on because he works hard for us in the background. And people are jumping on like crazy over there on Kick, so that's good.
Yeah,
good.
You got a bunch of people. Ed and Larry jumped in, and Meta and Kelly are in.
Yep. Very cool. Very cool. So, what separates Bloodline Ballistics from any other firearms company out there, Paul? What would make people want to come to you to get firearms and outdoor equipment?
So, I tried to center what I'm doing here at Bloodline Ballistics around procurement, because obviously it's hard to outprice companies like Sportsman's Warehouse and Bass Pro Shop because they buy in such bulk that they're able to keep the prices really low. So yes, we still have a lot of loyal customers that come and purchase from us, but I've tried to specialize in finding exactly what you're looking for. And if I can't get exactly what you're looking for, I do my best to get as closely suited as I can. So I have me and my brother, we both are getting better at the internet work, and I have contacts from the military days all over the United States that I use. They're in the gun businesses also. and I use them to help me find what I need to find for my customers. Um, that and doing large bulk custom orders uh, kind of sets us apart. We're a small business, primarily ran by just myself and my brother sometimes. If you need anything, you give me a call on the phone. We get a list of what you want, and I price it out, and I give you the best price you're going to find. And I source it out also, so you're not having to put your credit card in with, 5 or 10 different places. I'll get everything into one place, and you make one payment, and that's pretty much the end of it.
And that goes for, so go ahead, Russ.
Yeah, I said that's pretty interesting. I was just curious, the other things, is it just mostly hunting related, or is it preparedness related, first aid? What other kind of things that you offer other than the firearms and the hunting stuff?
So on the website, there's roughly 38,000 products available for my customers to buy. And that's just me outsourcing to different distributors that have different lines of goods. And I've kind of brought them to one place. So from archery to reloading, to survival stuff, first aid stuff, it's pretty much all in one spot on my website. And if there's something in particular that somebody's looking for that's not on there, I usually have a very quick way of finding also at great prices. So I tend to, I'm a talker, and I like to network, and everywhere that I go and all over the world where I've been over the last, you know, 15 to 18 years of my adult life, I've made great connections that are now friends and family. So I don't use them, but I definitely take advantage of having a widespread network of people that I am loyal to and are great for the most part.
Well, and I think you hit it on the head. You don't have many people in the business, so overhead is lower. So you're able to give a better price for the most part. So that's good stuff. The one thing, Paul, the one thing I noticed right off the bat, that you do something that I really like, and I've never seen anybody else do this before, but it's actually a great. First of all, let me just say this: it's a great business plan. First of all, you do, and I have to kind of be careful because we're still broadcasting on the communist platforms, YouTube and Facebook. But you do this thing, and we'll just call it. Let's just say you give a ticket per se for a small donation. And what do you normally do? Like 100 squares, kind of like a football pool, or?
Yeah. So the way that we run things is to keep it fair, and keep it as unbiased as we can until we're able to start running them live on Rumble or something. We use the Texas lottery. So basically, we sell 100 tickets, uh, and it's basically a ticket to our webinar. So our learning station for that firearm. If you want to purchase a ticket to learn about that firearm, then you go ahead and do so. Once we get 100 seats in the class, then we will announce to everybody that we're going to start the class. And usually it's done either in the afternoon, evening, or nighttime. And basically, at the end of class, 3 numbers are picked by the Texas lottery system. Thankfully, we use the last 2 numbers to choose which student that attended our seminar or our webinar gets to take home the prize.
Perfect. So I'll break it down for the people in the back row, for the people on Facebook and YouTube. So let's just say, for example, there happened to be a particular Freedom Seed dispenser that Paul Bloodline Ballistics has, and he has an extra one, and you want to learn a little bit about that, and maybe even get it in your hands. Then you could join this lottery type system for a much smaller price than the actual hands-on device, Freedom Seed dispenser, and you could potentially spend some time with that just by going through this lottery system. So it's a great business model. I love it. I love the way it works. Now,
definitely need to talk about that a little more. That'd be kind of
And I think Chrissy, are you able to throw that question up that Chrissy had real quick?
Yeah, I got
He answered it. I didn't want to put that up on the online.
I got you. Okay. Okay.
But Paul did answer it. He figured out the private chat and answered it, and I just let Christy know.
Okay, perfect.
Folks, and just real quick, folks that are over in YouTube and Facebook, we do see you guys. We understand that you're having trouble getting on the Kick. All I can say is keep trying, and we'll try to maintain a little more vigilance looking at the comments over here on Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah, apocalyptic prepper. Yeah, apocalyptic prepper. Yeah, it takes it. Listen, guys, that Kick thing is still in beta, but what we have to understand is always easier to do it on a laptop or a computer. The cell phone tends to give you a little bit of a problem. So if you are having an issue, certainly go ahead and get on your computer and see if that resolves the issue, because 9 times out of 10, it certainly does. So very cool. So listen, Paul, if somebody wanted to get involved in this, seminar, as we put it, how would they get a hold of you?
So there's a couple of ways. They could either reach out to me personally through Facebook, and I could get them set up that way, or I actually have had a website built called bloodlineguns.net that has got all of them automated. You could pay right there. You pick your seat, you pay your fee, and then when the class runs, you'll be alerted. It keeps track of all the seats that are taken. So if you wanted a particular seat, whether it be in the back or the front of the class, you're able to choose that. It just depends on where you want to sit. And then once the class is full, we go ahead and run the webinar, and hopefully, everybody that joins learns something, and then they're able to, whoever the lucky winner is, gets to walk away with something that they could use from what they learned in the class.
Gotcha. So hopefully you guys are reading between the lines there and are able to take advantage of what Paul has to offer there, because you're certainly going to be able to save a lot of money and give you a little bit of a chance to maybe win a pretty cool, we'll say, seat at the table. We'll go there. So, Paul, well, let me say this. First of all, Russ, do you have any questions before we move to this next question?
No, I don't think so. And Apocalyptic Prepper is Will. That's his new handle for his YouTube channel he's going to be working on. And Sandra, we know Sandra's been having issues, and I'll work with her online. We'll get her squared away. Okay, but I'm really digging the this webinar thing. I'm going to have to look into that. And I got the website correct, didn't I, Paul? Bloodline.
Yes, sir. Yep, that's it. Sorry, okay. I kind of threw that on you, but it's
no worries. I can adapt and overcome. So
yes, sir. Yeah, it's a new thing. It's I just finished. I just had. I'm actually working with a really great guy to build the website, who's got really good prices. So if you also need his contact, let me know. But yeah, so it just got finished. We accept all major credit cards, Venmo, and I believe PayPal. And I don't think there's any extra fees, and we actually have a free one going on right now. Basically, all you do is you sign up and you pick one of the seats in the free class, and that kind of gives you an idea of how things are ran and what the class will be like, and that way you could experience it without having to put any money up front. And then same as all the other classes, one of the lucky attendees will get to walk away with a prize. Chosen the same exact way, but with the free webinar, we do have 1,000 seats. So from 0 to 999. That way we could still, the winner can still be, chosen the same way, just using 3 numbers instead of the 2. So yeah, that's a free promo we have going on. So that doesn't cost anything to sign up. You just go put your information in and click a seat in the free webinar, and you're good to go. When all the seats are filled, I'll announce to everybody when the class is starting, and we'll go from there.
Very cool. And Koala over there on Kick, thank you very much for the subscription. We certainly appreciate that. It helps keep the lights on. And yeah, don't worry about throwing things up at last minute with Russ around, because it's like he picks up on that stuff. Look, he's on top of things. You know what I forgot? guys. And Paul, I apologize for keeping you on for this, but today is a special day. And today is Donnie Dunn's birthday. Now, I saw this last night on the Angry American podcast, and his new nickname is Walter White of the Apocalypse. So whenever you see Donnie Dunn on social media, whenever you're taking one of his training classes or anything like that, you no longer have to call him Donnie. He's Walter White of the Apocalypse. So there you go. Congratulations,
Absolutely.
Donnie. Glad it's your
Donnie.
birthday. Yeah, glad it's your birthday. Glad you were able to spend it with us, and we're glad that you're doing better. So we certainly appreciate you. So very cool. Very cool. I don't know how I got to this one here. Boom. There we go. Bang.
There you go.
I'm learning this stuff.
Yeah.
Man, I am quick.
One question that has come over in Kick, and this is more geared toward Paul, and I believe you answered it already, Paul. Would you say that your prices are competitive?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Being a small company that I am, and why I encourage people to reach out to me personally is, yes, the website is there for anybody to access at any time and purchase at any time. The Bloodline promo code will be good for a few months. As I'm getting started and trying to gain a customer base. But yeah, so if you're not satisfied with what you see on the website, send me an email. I'll look at what you're trying to do, and then we will do what we can to get you the best price. You can see what's on my mind. The best price.
He's one. Hey guys, he's one of us. Believe me. He fits right in with the tribe.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'll do my best to either beat the price or match it, because I would rather you guys give me money than the big corporations that are already billionaires. So, and definitely in all aspects of what I do, whether it be customizations, I actually just got a Cerakote machine. I'm looking into buying a mill. So in any aspect of it, all first responders, all veterans, all nurses, you guys will always have a discount, no matter what. And then if it's somebody that I deem necessary, then you'll get a discount too. I'm not discriminative. And I love to help everybody out, especially when it comes to getting our Second Amendment products out to the general public.
So, and that's the thing too, guys. Like we always bring our guests on. We always try to promote like-minded people, like-minded business, especially small businesses, especially businesses that are run by first responders. That's got a little soft spot in my heart for those guys, of course. Veterans, they always have a soft spot in my heart, obviously. So definitely give Paul a shout and use that promo code Bloodline, and he'll give you 5% off. And tell him you're from the Eden Army and you saw it here, and he'll take good care of you. And don't forget, Paul, this is for you. I know I didn't mention this to you, but don't forget, when you're selling guns and people need training and stuff like that,
absolutely,
send them my way, because that's kind of what I do.
Yeah, 100%. You're actually the first person that I tell everybody about when they ask about concealed weapons classes or more advanced firearms classes. Because
absolutely,
trust me, I wanna run guns to everybody on the face of the earth. But I also am a true believer that you should definitely know how to use them before you start carrying around the general public. And that's just common sense. I got two young kids running around my house right now. And I have guns everywhere throughout it, but they're all safe. They're all put in their spot that is under lock and key. But there's still quick access if I need to. If I'm taking a shower, I got a gun right underneath where I keep my beer.
Yeah, that's perfect. Looks like we have one question for you, Paul. Looks like Rev over there on Kick says he needs some mag holders. So Rev, get a hold of Paul. And also Magnum 333 says asks if you sell holsters. So I'm sure that's something you have over there on the website, or if not, just reach out to Paul.
Definitely. I actually just built. Go ahead, Russ. I'm sorry.
Oh no, go ahead. I
was just going to say that I had just built a as if my plate wasn't full enough to kind of get my credentials under my belt, I'm actually going back through school to get my AA and firearms technology. And one of my classes right now is requiring us to build a Kydex press. So be on the lookout for custom-made Kydex holsters inside the waistband, outside the waistband, coming from Bloodline Ballistics also. So, yep, I could hook you up with holsters. I know leather guys that'll make amazing custom holsters. First responders also that do the same thing. So just let me know what you need, and we'll get you set up.
Perfect. Russ, did you have a question?
Well, it's a question and an invite, and it's an invite we always extend to all our guests. We have 2 events we go to every year: Mountain Readiness in May, and then Fallout in October. It's in Harmony, North Carolina, and we'd love to have you up there. Come
Absolutely.
see these guys. Come meet these folks. And
yep, it's definitely on my list. Like I said, I got 2 pretty young kids. One's 3 and one's 1.5. So if I don't bring them, I'll still try to get up there. But my goal
is a very family-friendly event.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. So my goal is to kind of do what you're doing, Russ, and drag my camper around and follow Pete around and just camp wherever he's at. Because I have a couple of really good friends and really good customers that tend to bring me quite a bit of business, and Pete's one of them. So, I want to get a camper. I want to get involved with that kind of stuff.
Well, before you know it, you'll be retired and on the road. I mean, you'll sell pew stuff, and I pimp out books all the time. Will, if you want to get a hold of him, just reach out to bloodlineballistics.com, and there's a contact information there for that. And if you have any particular questions that you need to talk to him, I'm sure he'll send you his contact information there. So
my contact info is at the bottom of the website. My phone number is there also, so feel free to shoot me a text.
You got to be careful now giving out your phone number to some of my viewers here, because next thing you know, you're going to be getting these pictures that you don't want. You'll get big old birthday cards this big.
Yeah,
this big.
You'll get a stalker like Pete has.
Pete's got a stalker, huh?
Pete has a stalker, and her daughter is in the audience tonight.
Yeah, she is. So, Adam Nelson says he's digging your stash over there on Facebook or YouTube.
I got a haircut and a stash trim up today with my son. Before the podcast, I had to look good. I had to look professional.
Attaboy.
Which I'm not very good at.
It's hard, right? Especially guys like us, where we spend all this time trying to stay out of the camera, right? We're firefighters. We try not to, and then all of a sudden now you got to promote yourself. That's a tough thing to do, especially for an introverted guy like me. Russ drags me by the ear to most of the stuff I have to do, and I hate it, but I understand the business aspect of it. Yeah. So
that's okay. Pete gets back at me by dragging me up to the North 40 and making me kill my liver. So
hi, sweetie. Get her on there.
Hi there.
Good night. Hi. Oh, she is a sweetheart.
Sleep good, okay? Be a good girl for mommy.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool. Yep. So, Paul, I'm going to leave you with the final words for this interview. Again, you always have an open invitation. If there's something you want to get off your, put out there or get off your chest, or if the world is if you're freaking out about politics and stuff, because I don't know if you know this about me, but I have a tendency to vent about politics. So with that being said, brother, you have an open invitation anytime you want to come out to the podcast and to get yours started. We're here for you. That's one thing about this community, is that we certainly take care of each other, and whether it's starting a business or starting a podcast or doing anything, I think we got a pretty good tribe going on. So I'm going to leave you with any last words, Paul. What do you got for us, brother?
We're living in some weird times, and unfortunately, it's affecting all of us, whether you're on the left wing or the right wing of the bird. And I think everybody just has to realize that it's the same damn bird, and it will always be until some changes are made. But yeah, that being said, we're blessed. We live in America. I feel bad for the kids that haven't got to see what it looks like to be in a war-torn country, and not understand how great that they actually have it here on American soil. And that's thanks to the veterans that have given their lives, both physically and figuratively, to the protection of our country. So yeah, I like to give them a shout out. Give out a shout out to all my first responder buddies. Like I said, call me, let me know where you're at, where you work, and I'll do the best I can to get you whatever you need at the best price possible. And just really appreciate you having me on, and look forward to doing it again.
All right, anytime you want, we are open for you. We are open for you to come on in and do whatever you need to do. If you got any specials going on and just want to spend 5 minutes on, say, hey, go look at Bloodline Ballistics. I got this going on. So definitely do that if you want. So with that being said, guys, we're going to pay some bills real quick. And I don't know, Paul, if you've ever seen this promo that we have for the Troy's Gate experience, but it's something that you can catch on the replay or just stay on backstage and look at it. But it's Troy's Gate's an experience unlike any you've ever had before. So let's run that promo. Well, there you guys go. That is the Troy's Gate experience. And Paul, I don't know if I told you how that actually works, but you're actually live fire and you're dealing with live adversaries.
Yeah.
So they're there talking to you. They're yelling at you. They're calling you everything but a red-blooded American, and you really have to control yourself, because sometimes it may be a no-shoot type of thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you can kind of try to de-escalate, and other times they just come out blasting, and you gotta react. So pretty cool thing. So we still have, I think, 2 or 3 spots available for that. So if you have any interest in that.
I think it's a great tool for everybody to experience. That way they get to actually understand what it's like to be in the position of LEO in a situation like that, or any first responder for that matter. You know how it is in the fire service. We have to de-escalate with our voices and our gestures because we don't have any protection. But I definitely think that even if you're not a avid shooter, it's something that you should look into, because it's from what Pete tells me, it'll definitely open your eyes into the world of a real world situation, and you're not going to get any other experience like that unless you're actually, unfortunately, in that situation firsthand.
Absolutely not. And what I like about that is they actually get into the mindset. They actually get into the debriefing on, what did you see? What did you go through? Why did you decide to shoot? And it's not a wrong or right answer. It's just they're actually doing research, and they take that research. The guy that runs the show, Randy, is actually a what was he for the court system? He's a professional.
He's considered an expert witness, professional witness type for explaining what the officer went through during the shooting, and he uses the videos of people training in his video evidence as video evidence, and he can explain it, officer cam footage, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
The whole night.
Yeah, and guys, I know my texts are blowing up. I know we're still on Facebook and YouTube, but here's the deal: if they can't take training the right way, then they can just go ahead and cancel me. It's not a big deal to me. I don't care. It's no big deal. But we will go back to Kick for general discussion later on after the news, obviously. But yeah, I know, guys. Thank you for looking out for me. I appreciate that. But YouTube. That's what I say. But Paul, thanks for being here, brother. We're gonna hit the news and touch base. Give me a call tomorrow, man.
Yeah, sounds good, man. Y'all have a good evening and appreciate y'all.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Talk to you later.
Good one.
All right. Well, that's Paul Nelson with Bloodline Ballistics. So, guys, look him up. He's a cool cat, as you can tell. But look, now we got to get on to the news. I know nobody likes the news. I get it. But let's talk about some news because there is a lot going on. And I don't know if you guys saw that the Harris-Biden administration continues to downgrade previous job reports. Now, although they've been doing this for months, it basically has been going unnoticed by the media. Well, but I guess if you downgrade it so much within a month, like 800,000 or 1 million actual new jobs created, that guess what? Even the legacy media can't ignore it. They have to, at some point, acknowledge that you're lying. You're a lying administration. So let's run that clip. Oh, you know what I did?
Did you forget to turn on the volume?
I did it again. I'm the worst. I am the worst podcast guy ever. Hold on. Oh, I'm terrible. Sorry. I'm the worst. Bear with me. I'm going to start letting you.
These days, guys. You know,
I'm going to start letting you upload these things.
You train them. You try to set them free. Try to let them fly, and then the question mark.
I know I'm terrible.
But it is what it is.
Let's see if I can do this again. Bear with me.
You know, you'll get it. It's no big deal. I mean, we all make you punish yourself like you punish Remy.
Now it's not even letting me do it.
I'm not letting you get on there because we're live. So,
yeah, it's not going to do it.
So,
anyway, it doesn't matter. Look, it's a news thing saying everything I just said. So carry on. That's what it is. I'm the worst. Now that I got rid of that, the DNC commission. Russ? What do you think about the DNC committee thing going on?
I think it's the biggest circus that I've ever even tried to not watch intentionally. When you're going around and you're giving out, free vasectomies and free abortions to try to garner support, yet you will not let one of your voters, an illegal alien, in without papers. I mean, you can't make this shit up.
You really, and people are still going to fall for it. That's the thing; they're still going to fall for it. So this week, the DNC convention is going on, and they had the less than expected turnout for these anti-Israeli Hamas supporting protesters, right? But I had a video for you, and I know I've been kind of critical about the war in Gaza, and especially when it comes to innocent civilians in the war in Gaza. But what I will tell you is that one of the protesters at the DNC was interviewed, and he basically says every Palestinian is Hamas, every one of them. And the fact of the matter is, none of the Palestinians will say anything bad about what occurred on October 7th. So I'm going to try to run this again.
Yeah, this clip I think will run because I heard the volume on it when we tested it.
Okay, let's try.
Yeah, let's try to run it.
Add to stage.
Protesting for a lot of different causes, but I did find one man carrying a Hamas flag, saying that he's not only here to support Palestinians, but he supports Hamas. In fact, he advocated October 7th.
As a matter of fact, I'm locked up.
Every Palestinian support Hamas, not just me. every Palestinian support
I can hear
Hamas.
you.
You support October
You can hear
7th.
me,
Who?
but it's not pulling that
October
one on
7th.
stage for
October
some
7,
reason.
yes, I do.
Yes.
What's wrong with
Is it?
October 7? You
Yeah.
tell me.
Women and children.
What?
It's a murder.
What is this bull?
Yeah. To the best of my knowledge, it ran over here on my side. Guys over on Kick, did you guys see that?
Yeah,
Let us know.
I'm looking at it on Kick, but I don't know if they got audio or not. Sorry, guys. Yep. Okay, it ran on Kick, and I guess it just didn't want to go.
Yeah, it ran on my side, and they said it ran. So
Oh, perfect.
keep on
All
rolling.
right. Well, there you go. So I didn't mess it up too terribly bad. So good. All right, guy. Good. Speaking of the war in Gaza, the IDF found the bodies of 6 new hostages in a tunnel near a former IDF humanitarian zone. So that was a zone the IDF set aside in Gaza for humanitarian aid. Well, they found the bodies of 6 hostages that were captured alive during October 7th, during the terrorist attacks. And they were presumably killed while in captivity. So let's try to run that one. It's going.
Overnight, in a complex and dangerous operation, Israeli security forces rescued the bodies of 6 hostages held by Hamas in the Khan Yunis area in Gaza, back home to Israel. Yoram Metzger, aged 80, Avram Munder, aged 79, Chaim Peri, aged 79, Alex Danzig, aged 75, Nadav Popperwell, aged 51, Yagev Buchstag, aged 35. They were all civilians that were brutally abducted alive by Hamas on October 7th from Kibbutz Nir Oz and Kibbutz Nirim, and were killed in captivity in Gaza. These men were husbands, fathers, grandfathers, brothers, and sons, both Israeli and foreign nationals. Nadav Popelwell was both an Israeli and British citizen. Alex Danzig, a historian
there you go. I
of
think
the
that one's
Holocaust,
done, Russ.
was Israeli and Polish.
Sorry, guys. It's not
Chaim
doing
Peri
exactly.
was a peace activist
I'm locked
who
up a
fought
little
for
bit, but that's okay.
coexistence between Israelis and Palestinians and
Let it
volunteered.
run until it gets off a kick. There'll be a little latency, a little delay.
Yeah.
And Paul
and
says to stick around. He wants to shoot the crap.
absolutely.
There you go. Very.
Just one little public service announcement for those that didn't catch the Angry Nation podcast last night. Our favorite Israeli is doing well, and situation normal over there for him, but he is still doing well, and he does say thank you for all the thoughts and prayers. And back to you there, Pete.
Perfect. So with all that being said, sorry for the technical difficulties, guys, but we're going to take a quick intermission. And actually, Paul wants to come back for kick. So we're going to bring Paul back on after this intermission. And we'll see you guys over exclusively on kick.com.
I spent my first 15 years trying to get out of the woods because I thought it was horrible. And I spent the next 20 years trying to get back. The truth of the matter is we need to be well-rounded individuals like our forefathers were.
Yeah.